Good morning, team. Happy Thursday. It's almost the end of the week. Today we have a special event for you guys. Very excited. We're going to be doing our market preparation, NQ Playbook, and then our live trading session will start at 9:15. So very excited. And together here we have Patrick and Maciej. Welcome, guys.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, everyone. So, guys, we get directly economic data with this market preparation. This is cool. And I love to see all our levels directly in actions. Basically, when we have CPI, where we have fully fed business, we have jobless claims. So I would say don't lose so much time and let's go directly into our levels. So, and it's nice, Fabio. So the initial move from the economic data are stopped directly at the 1 day max. Here we go. Look at this on NQ. Boom, 1 day max. If you're looking into NDX, 1 day max. QQQ, 1 day max. Let's double check also. SPY, 1 day max. All right, we have some room on SPX and we have some room on ES. But again, put support on the VIX. As you know, I really like the VIX. So every time I'm touching put support, or if we're touching call resistance, also the UDTE levels on put support and call resistance, we can expect some reflection. And here we go. So this is the number first, what we was observing directly with the economic data, because I'm not an economist. For me, it's much more interesting as a trader what the market tells me. And what I'm getting again as confirmation is how beautiful our 1 day max and 1 day min calculation work. Fabio, maybe you can explain for the people what is 1 day max, what is 1 day min, and why is this so important to have on your chart that you should not miss this?
Yeah, so basically the 1 day max and 1 day minimum, it's our proprietary volatility indicator. So let's say, so we consider 1 day max and 1 day minimum our primary levels, because first you have the levels coming from the options market, the core resistance, put support, but you also want to be aware of the potential move for the day, right? So the option market can give us some good insights of where the volatility can lie. And basically we develop the 1 day min, 1 day max indicator, which is a forward-looking indicator to show you guys where the market could kind of like reverse. We have statistics on our website. We can go over them later if you guys want, on the success rate of the 1 day max and 1 day min. And we will soon also release some real backtesting tools that you guys will be able to use to prepare for your day when you see something like this happening.
Perfect. That's amazing. I really like it. And now let's build our trading roadmap for today, as we have now our data what was coming out. And I will be use the rectangle as always. And for me, what is really interesting now, because we are here on the Nasdaq NQ Playbook session, for me, it's really interesting to see what has now really happened at the 1 day max and put support UDTE. Because if we're looking back and we zoom out a little bit, what we can see clearly where we are now, this is a really good decision area. So here where we are now on the 1 day max, we can build basically our trading plan for today. We can say having a plan A, where we want to going long until high vol and high vol UDTE, or we want a plan B for shorting the market back to 1 day min, and let's see what would be a good favor. We will see this when the market will be open and when we doing our live trading session. But the question is what we want to see for a good short, what we want to see for a good long opportunity, and what us telling us the other assets, because I'm personally not looking only to NQ as NQ trader. For me, it's more important to have the bigger view of the market. I mean, with the market, Nasdaq, VIX, high yield corporate bonds, and of course, SPX. So we are both agree that we are now on some resistance area on NDX and also on NQ, where we have our decision points, and we have a really nice gap without any level until 25,500. So I'm plotting, as you know, you have here your MenthorQ gamma levels end of the day indicator. What I'm showing is primary levels, GEX 1 to 5. So this doesn't mean if we're going above 1 day max, there is no primary level anymore and no GEX 1 to 5. So this is for me a clear opening gap, what we can fill. This is a really good opportunity. But again, it's only showing me the NQ, and we have same picture on NDX for the long side. We have the same picture for QQQ. Nothing holding us back. We can fill the gap. But the problem is, and now there's some troublemaker, and this is the SPX. So the SPX was not touching 1 day max, as we was already seeing. So we have only 10 points, maybe around 10 points left until we hitting 1 day max. And also look at this here, we have high vol 0 DTE, 1 day max. We was also not touching this, and we have only few points left until we coming to this area. So if we breaking through 1 day max and high vol, we would be having trouble with 1 day max and high vol again, basically on SPX. So for this, that we can fill the gap to the upside, we must first touching 1 day max on SPX and ES, and then going through high vol and going back to call resistance gamma vol 0 DTE. This is not impossible, but we should be knowing there's something what can hold us back. And then last but not least, let's take also a look into the downside, because we should not having in bias where we're saying, oh, we want long, we want short, we want neutral. No, we want doing what the market is already doing. And for the short side, where we came from, here we go. This is one good target, GEX 4, GEX 5. Then we have again GEX 5. So if we should getting down, nothing hold us back from the primary levels. We have only GEX 4, GEX 2, and GEX 5. We have the same on the downside also. We have only the GEX levels, no primary level until 1 day min. We have the same also on NDX, no primary level, only the GEX levels until we come to put support 0 DTE. So we have really two good opportunities. The long, there is nothing what hold us back, but carefully on the SPX. If we want dropping, if we want going down, nothing is holding us back from the primary levels, but they are sitting all the GEX levels, GEX 4, GEX 2, GEX 5, as you can see. So this is really depend on the price action, depend on how the market open. And again, we are also in the last few days of this years, very careful. Tomorrow is also OPEX. And I would be saying also take a closer look today on the put support, what will be happen at put support, basically on the VIX, and also high vol 0 DTE, 16, 17, 1750. That's my major areas today on the VIX. And I would say, let's go over to you, Maciej, and yeah, let's go.
So as you mentioned, right now, after economic data, we have acceleration above on ES. Also, we have blind spots. and one day max with GEX and HVL. And for me, this is interesting. Why? Because if we stay in this zone later, for me, another target when I will be looking, it will be after crossing this gap and exactly watching reaction on this lower, on this upper trend line. Market seeing this, not first time, not second. So the next should perhaps smash this and we get acceleration. So later HVL with GEX 7 for me is interesting. And if we have so much power, it's not possible, it's only 3%. 7K, call resistance 0 DTE and gamma wall still sitting. As we know from few days, and not only, there is still sitting big order. You very often mention this in NQ preparation. So looking also on Nasdaq, we have similar view from my perspective. And if we cross similar upper trend line, then for me 25.5, Y, GEX 8, blind spot, HVL 0 DTE, creating magnetic zone from the bigger picture. Of course, this is also a zone right now which should work for us as a resistance. So for me, it's simple view right now what is going on, but I will be right now waiting also to see reaction after the bell, because we have still a few minutes to open the market. Later, I will dive, of course, to our dashboard, take a look what is going on with this new snapshot, especially for SPY, for QQQ, for SPX and NDX, and then I will try to create some other orders on my account today and trade.
All right, then I think we can also going into the dashboard, Fabio, to see how it looks like, especially today, our wall models. Here we go.
Do you want me to show it, or do you want to go on your screen?
I can do it, no worries. So first things first, where I personally start with when I be on the MenthorQ dashboard, I want to see today our CTA models. It's after we was dropping the last few days. For me, it's really interesting how the CTA models are looking now. And we have the index table where you have the full view, and then we have the position from yesterday, and we have the position from today. And then we can see it changed from 1.11% to 1.38%. Basically, they add to the position. We have the same on the Nasdaq. They adding. Russell adding a bit. MSCI adding a bit. So stocks 50, okay, they take something out. And on the FTSE, on the Europe side, they take also something out. So the days before, there was more adding on the European side and taking something out on the American side. But at the moment, when we see yesterday versus today, at the moment, there is more adding. And we see this also in the table, what we have here, our Nasdaq MenthorQ CTA position chart. And we stopping our negative trend a little bit. This doesn't mean we are now good, but we are stopping. Before, we was already coming down. At the moment, we are stopping a bit. This is a sign for us where we should have in our mind when we're developing, as you remember, our plan A, plan B, and plan C. And we have also our wall models. So number one, what I'm looking for is the wall control fund model. I want to see if we're seeing here some crossover. At the moment, we are flat between realized volatility 1 month versus realized volatility 3 months. I don't see any big crossover. I'm looking to this every single day because it's so important, because when you're seeing a crossover, you can look in here in our chart what was really happened. And then you can combine all the thoughts together. And if you have questions about the meaning between realized volatility 1 month and realized volatility 3 months. No worries, we have Quinn, and you can ask Quinn any questions about this, and it's amazing how helpful this is. So really
also,
good job.
Patrick, if you click on the 3 dots at the top right of the model,
yes,
you have a guide there as well.
Perfect. And you can refresh the data if something is wrong. So, but read the guide and go to Quinn, and this is really helpful. We can go together to the guide. Here we go. Now we are in the guide, the volatility control fund model. Everything is written down for you guys. Everything is written down. And then if there are also some questions, go directly into Quinn, and it's really amazing how you can do it. But now let's go back. And then Fabio, I like how you explain this. Maybe you can give again the explanation, because you can also explain this really simple. Why is this so important to look into the cross-assessed monitor with where we have selling option bias or buying option bias? And at the moment, when we're looking into SPX, we have 83%. What is this meaning, and how we can read this?
So this model is very, very important. So it's called VRP cross-asset monitor. So it's essentially, we are looking at the volatility risk premium, right? So first, let's take a step back, right? Let's go into the end of day for SPX, and what you have for assets, so for stocks, ETFs, and indices, you actually have the VRP model right here. So this is the volatility risk premium for SPX looking at the past 3 months. So here you see the 3 months percentile. We are at 58.06. This is looking 3 months in the past, and we are looking at the difference between historical volatility, so the value that you see here, versus implied volatility. So as you can see, what this is telling me is that right now, implied volatility is going higher compared to 3-4 days ago. So 3-4 days ago, implied volatility was very low compared to historical. So we had what we call an undervalued risk premium, volatility risk premium. That means that compared to the previous 12 months, implied volatility was actually relatively cheaper than historical volatility. So why is that important? Because whenever you look at IV and historical volatility, you can never say is 14.95 high or low. You always have to compare it to what it has been over the past few months, right? So here, what we show you is the past 3 months, and then once we go into the vol model, we are actually looking at 1 year. So when we open this can help you define outliers. So I use this to potentially spot outliers. So for example, if we look at GLD, a few weeks ago, we were live with Ryan, and we were looking at GLD being at the 100 percentile. 2 weeks later, went down to this area. So the implied volatility of GLD went spiked up really fast and then dropped down. So this was potentially a good place to potentially buy option, because you are looking at a cheaper implied volatility compared to what it has been over the past 12 months. And when we look at SPX and QQQ, here we are sitting at the 83rd percentile, meaning that even though over the past 3 months, maybe the volatility is still kind of low, if we look at the overall year, we're still in a very high VRP level for both assets.
Yeah. All right, guys, let us know if you have any questions about this, because it's so important in this session that the focus is on you, not on us. We want helping you with this session. So this is our special Christmas gift. We want that you understand more how you can use MenthorQ, how you can shorten the learning curve with MenthorQ, and how you can become an edge with options data for your trading decisions. So guys, let us know what questions you have, because again, it's all ready for you.
So I think we have a couple of really good questions, Patrick, that maybe you can take and I can take as well. So one question is around the high vol level, and another question is around blind spots.
Yeah.
So first of all, so the high vol level, it's a lot of other tools refer that as gamma flip. Within the MenthorQ platform, you get access to not only the overall high vol level that looks at the overall exposure. So let me just go back to the dashboard here. So whenever you look at our net gamma exposure chart, and let me open it for you. High vol level is when the gamma curve start moving from a positive to a negative gamma environment. So this is the high vol level, the yellow kind of like dotted line right here. We are right now at 6,795 for SPX. And as you can see, this is where kind of like the curve, this is the gamma curve, goes from positive to negative, right? So this is the level that defines kind of like the switch, even though gamma is a curve. So it's not really a cut through level where below here we are in negative and above we are in positive. This is when we are starting to move in a positive and negative gamma environment. Very, very important. So the other question for you, Patrick, is how do you use the IVO level? And obviously you develop some really cool strategies that really work for you. So maybe if you want to spend a couple of minutes.
Yeah, let's go. Before Trump was president and everything was really wild, since Trump is in the market again, everything is wild and crazy again. So my major A plus setup is really at the moment the VIX, when we have call resistance USDT, put support and put support USDT. Before this, it was my money printing area was always the high vol level. My main idea was trading the high vol to 1 day min or to 1 day max, because every time when we coming to high vol, you were seeing some reaction. Maybe it was first we pinning around at the high vol level, and then we get a boom, big reaction, maybe to the top or maybe to the down. So this is why we have to look also in real-time data, how everything is positioning. But there was a reaction on the high vol level. And if you was really patient enough and you was waiting and you know there could be something happened, then you was already having a good setup. And I will be giving you an example. So where we have at the moment our high vol, because today it looks like a little bit not in our favor, because high vol is over 1 day max, high vol is over 1 day max, and high vol is also over 1 day max. So, but we can also use this. So if we're touching high vol, the high vol level, so when we're talking about risk reward, we can now battling on that we're going to high vol USDT, call resistance USDT, and we're looking to touch this area again where we was falling down also yesterday. So especially we fill the gap from yesterday. But we can also fail this. And then it's a really good idea to use the high vol level to target the 1 day min if everything goes wild and crazy. Because if we're talking about risk reward, let's say you want to target the 1 day min, place your stop loss a little bit over call resistance, gamma was USDT, and targeting 1 day min, you will get a really nice risk and reward. And the major idea was always touching high vol or high vol USDT, we can target 1 day min, 1 day max. And this was before the call resistance and put support with USDT levels on VIX, my major A plus setup, and it was working very well. And I was teaching this, I think, last year every single time. So it was working. But now, as you know, the put support, call resistance on VIX, this is my major setup. But this is the strategy behind. Every time when we're touching high vol, this is the money printing level, because it's the flipping point from positive to negative gamma. This doesn't mean we're going up or we're going down, but what you can think about is there will be coming the price action. And I'm, as a trader, won't be involved in price action, and I want to ride the wave. So that's why the high vol and the high vol 0 DTE area is so powerful. Really simple approach. Let me know, guys, if this is answering your question.
Yeah, that was perfect. And I think we can then go into the blind spots, and I'll start with the idea behind it, and then I'll let you
Okay.
go over, because you were kind of like the founder of this principle when
Yeah.
we started working together about 2 years ago. So going to the theory, right? So if you are a futures trader, you are probably looking at ES or NQ, but you cannot just look at those in isolation, because ES and NQ are the asset that you trade, but the market actually reacts in different other assets, in particular SPX, SPY, QQQ, and NDX, right? So when you trade ES, you always should pay attention to what's going on in positioning on SPX, because SPX is by far the asset with the largest option volume. On the Nasdaq side, QQQ has the highest option volume out of the three. So looking at QQQ is also very important. And SPY also is a very big volume, because it's it's probably the ETF with the largest asset overall. Why should you look at that? Because you need to understand how positioning change across different player types. So think about when you go, when you go in a race, like you need to know who your adversary are, who the players are. So who's trading SPX? SPX will be traded by institutions, but will also be traded by retail traders who are using zero DTEs options, who are using shorter term maturity. So SPX can be seen more as kind of like a speculative asset together with ES. When we look at SPY and QQQ, those can also be seen the same, but SPY is also the asset that sits on all the 401k accounts in the US. So everybody in the US who wants to invest in the S&P 500 would buy SPY or QQQ if they want to invest in technology, right? So they are not trading on a daily basis. They are like a longer term investments, right? So whenever you see a divergence in the option chain of SPY versus SPX or QQQ versus NDX, it doesn't mean that the player type is the same. So you need to account for that. So obviously, as a trader, you need to already monitor one asset that moves very fast. If you need to monitor more than one, then obviously you're gonna waste a lot of time in doing that. So the idea behind blind spot is that we account for this correlation by not only looking at the three assets that are correlated together, but also looking at other assets that could have an impact. So for example, if you trade crude oil, then maybe you also want to pay attention to the Canadian dollar. If you trade gold, maybe you want to look at the Australian dollar, and maybe you want to look at also like what's happening in Europe and assets that are correlated. So the idea behind blind spots is that with one indicator, you can monitor those areas on your price chart so that you can make decisions faster and confirm your decisions as well.
Exactly. And let me jump into my charts. I was adding now the blind spots. So I make this more colorfully for you, because Fabio, since he was developing the blind spots together, I was learning something, and this is the game changer for me about the blind spots. And no matter what other people saying, I can tell you one thing, and this is one major rule. If you have blind spots on major gamma areas, then you could know that this is a strong magnet, because blind spots supporting gamma levels. What I'm meaning with this, look at this guy. So we have here BL4, BL8, and BL3. And what we have here, high vol 0 DTE, and 1-day max. Blind spots supporting gamma levels. In this moment, we know exactly this is a really strong magnet, because as Fabio was already explained to you what the blind spots are, and with this information, connecting the dots, and you see the gamma levels, you find now a major area with liquidity, with hidden spots. And also where we have this also at the moment on ES, blind spot 1 and high wall. All other ones, I would say no, only put support UDT and BL9. And now take out all your levels. Now you have your trading roadmap based on where blind spots supporting gamma levels. You have here your top. We are now here, and if we fail this, congratulations, there could be possible a nice move. It doesn't mean that this would be happened. It could be happened because blind spots supporting gamma levels, and this is very often, not always, but very often the key. And let's take a look into NQ, where we have the same picture. Put support 0 DTE, blind spot 1, blind spots supporting major gamma levels, and then we have at the top BL6 with high vol 0 DTE, and I would say here I will not map something out because this is the major area, so we could having a range, or we would be targeting here the top. So this is also a really good way how you can start to developing your trading roadmap based on the principle blind spots supporting gamma levels, finding the areas what is really interesting. And if you're looking to the left side, you're connecting the dots. This is something what I'm doing. Look at this. It makes totally sense where the blind spots supporting the gamma levels, and it's amazing. And this is how you can easily read the market much better. And here you see directly the range where we always fighting with, and we start to breaking out or to fall down. That's the decisions areas at the moment, where here's the top and here the bottom. That's the decisions area. Did we make here the decision to going up or down? In the past, 100%. Why? Take a look here. I will map this out for you guys. Take a look here. Take a look here. And here we go. Take also the closer look here. We get also support here. There are many ways why this area is so important for us and why the blind spot supporting the gamma levels. If you understand this principle, man, it becomes so much easier. And this is why I'm liking the blind spots. And I was also need a little bit more time to understand really how to use this in a really good way. And if you would be asking me, the really good concept is blind spots supporting gamma levels. And if you have something like this, this is magic. And it works most of the time, not always, but really most of the time. All right. Let us know if you have other questions, Shams.
All right. So yeah, there's a few questions.
All right.
So BL1 and BL10, they are different from JAX 1 to 10. So they're not based on strength, because we look at number of correlated areas in the same level. So doesn't mean that BL10 is less important than BL1, but BL1 has the strongest overlapping areas within that level. So obviously, not necessarily is going to be the strongest, but it's going to be the one that's going to have a very big importance, right? So, but it doesn't mean that BL10 is less important than BL1.
Oh, yesterday we was also getting a really cool question about what gamma levels are really important, what blind spots are really important in the pro room. And to be really honest, the easiest answer, if you ask someone who's not an options trader, who's only a futures trader, and as you know, I'm trading only futures or CFD contracts, I'm not an options trader. The levels who are important are the levels who are at the moment in the play. That's the levels who are important. I don't care about if other levels, 200 points, 300 points, 400 points at the moment far away. For me, only the levels are important who in the play, who could be next, or who could hold me, or who support me. The levels, they are important. And it's so important for me to understand what levels are at the moment in the play, what are doing these levels, why are they getting the name put support, call resistance, why is this BL5? If you have questions about this, jump to Quinn, ask really quick. And in this case, you can learn and understand more and more about the gamma levels, because today may be important. High vol 0 DTE, put support, blind spots 10, lower band -5 days. And tomorrow, what could be important? 1 day max, call resistance 0 DTE, BL, I don't know, 6, upper band 2, complete different levels who are at the moment in the play. And they are important for this day. This is how I'm reading this. If you're asking me, this was also what I was explaining in the pro room. What is really important? Important is what is at the moment in the play. Really simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overcomplicate it. And if the market moves, of course, we're looking to the left, we're looking to the right, we're looking top, we're looking down, and we're looking in what's next, what levels are next important, but not on the full stuff, only what is now important. And this is what helps me really, really well. I don't know, Fabio, if you would agree with this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, Patrick, the live trading will start soon. I was thinking on spending maybe 5 to 10 minutes going through some of the questions about levels, update, integration, conversion, all of that stuff. So we are ready for the next, live session, because I think we see a lot of question of like, okay, levels did not update for me. So I want to go over that so that is kind of clear for when we start, so that people can also troubleshoot if they're having issues and they don't see the same level as you do during the live session.
Yeah. So for me, basically, if I'm talking about levels, there are two people. I think there are two different traders, Fabio. And I am the trader, and there's no right and there's no wrong. To be really honest, there's no right, there's no wrong. But I be a trader who are using slowly the end of the day levels. And why I'm using the end of the day levels? Because I need it static. What I mean with static, if I'm using the end of the day levels, they are static and not changed. The intraday levels, we have every 30 minutes the updates, Fabio, correct?
Yeah.
And the levels are changed, yeah? So call resistance is no more there. Maybe it's now 20, 30 points above. So the static is changed with the intraday levels, of course, because the market is changed correctly. And if you like this, that the static is changed and you want to have now a real overview about what's going on in the market, how options positioning is, then this is perfect for you. But if you be a trader like me who loves to developing before the market opens based on static your trading plan, then the end of the day levels are good for you. Because Fabio, when we was giving the people the intraday levels, we was having before end of the day levels, correct? Also for ETF, for indices, people asking about this, or if we can have intraday levels. And we was agree, we was giving you this. But I be a really good friend of the end of the day levels because it works for me. But as I said, there's no right, there's no wrong. The intraday levels working also really good. They are perfect, but I be a guy who like it static. So that's why there are two different peoples. If I'm talking about levels, what I'm seeing in the live trading session, I'm talking about end of the day.
Yeah. And also, like to that point, is also very important to distinguish what becomes edge and what becomes noise, right? Because you need to be able to find an edge, but that doesn't mean that if you see real-time gamma changing 20 times a second, that's going to become an edge for you. So that's why also we do the update every 30 minutes, because we need to provide you with an edge and not with something that could actually do the opposite effect. Because if you see like gamma bars changing every second, then you might make a trade that is not actually right, and you might actually lose even though the data was there, right? So it's important that you are able to get the edge. So I think that's also key.
And true, I was not saying that NQ futures and ES futures have intraday level, but indices, ETFs, and stocks, of course, they have intraday levels. For now, futures have end of the day.
Yeah.
But 2026 would be a really good year where we have a lot of surprises for you guys.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go over some of the questions that we get, especially for those who are using TradingView. So I'm gonna show you another tool that we integrate with, which is TrendSpider. We like a lot TrendSpider because it looks very similar to TradingView, and we're not promoting the platform in anyhow. But the good thing about this is that we integrate via API, so the levels will always update as soon as they are calculated. Why is this important? Because you could have an entire watch list here, and you could go from one ticker to the other one and have the levels already there. So we like this approach. If we come to our dashboard, you can see all the different integration that we have here, and all of these, besides MetaTrader and TradingView, update in the same format. So if you're using TrendSpider, if you're using Bookmap, Sierra Chart, Atas, Quantower, Ninja, we all update via API, right? So the functionality would be the same. You set up your indicator once, you basically can kind of see, okay, which level you want to see. You save that, and that's updated as soon as new level update. We also have the intraday, the end of day, and so on, right? So this is great. With TradingView, obviously TradingView is the most used platform in the world. This functionality is not currently available. So TradingView does not have an API connectivity that we can use to potentially push data, right? So you always have to understand that we do not. So a lot of indicators in TradingView calculate based on two variables, price and volume. So if you are adding a moving average or any other script that is calculated using price and volume, then yes, of course, as soon as we have a new update, that will come through the platform. But the option data that we have is not available on TradingView. So the only way for us to publish data, publish levels to TradingView, it's either via API like we do on the other platform, but this is not available on TradingView, or by uploading the levels, or by having access to our indicators, where we upload the levels for you and we share it through the permissioning system of TradingView. So we have two indicators that automatically update, the end of day and the intraday. The only downside to this is that every time there is an update, you need to refresh the indicator and receive the latest update, right? So on the back end, we would publish the new script as soon as the data is calculated. On the TradingView side, you need to refresh the indicator, right? It will not be pushed to you because of some limitation within the platform. So right now, I have the latest end of day levels. I just updated that. You can do the same with the intraday levels. So I'm just going to add it there. The intraday level might be the most challenging one because it updates 14 times per day, right? So of course, you have the levels updated, but you need to refresh the script, right? This is currently the only way possible within TradingView, right? So here I need to, I will hide this. You always want to look at the timestamp. So this box at the top right will be very important. This will tell you the latest update of the level. So right now I have the level of 12:16 at 10:30 Eastern. So they are not updated. So I need to come here, click here, update to the latest version, or I can also do click on the three dots here and update the script, update that, and now you will see that now the timestamp will change. Right, so this is now updated. So the problem is that, of course, we cannot control how TradingView pushes the update. You see the blue icon here. So another way of doing that is using our custom levels indicator. So the custom level is the first indicator that we developed where we were taking data from our Discord bot. You can input it here, and of course, you have to manually input it. So when we at the end of the day was okay, was not too much of an issue, but obviously with the intraday updating multiple times a day, the indicator. But of course, if you want to have faster updates, faster data, then you can still use the custom level. So we also developed now a tool within Quinn. So if you go to Quinn and you click on levels, that will allow you to get the levels directly for the upload. So you most likely are going to be trading maybe a few assets. So there's two ways of selecting it. One, either type in the asset here, SPX, QQQ. You can choose which type of level you want. So if you want blind spots, if you want intraday levels, if you want swing levels. So let's go to intraday. You can click on search, and then here you will get the levels. You can also go back to the previous day, go back to the next date. So within intraday, it means going back to the previous snapshot. So if you are at 11:30 and you want to check how the 9:35 levels would have performed, you can always go back there. Simply hit on copy here, come on the indicator, paste it, and then the levels will appear on your chart, right? Another thing that is possible, you can also type in strings. So you can type in a text. So if you save this text in your Google Doc, you can upload up to 5 ticker. Just hit on search, and then again the levels will calculate. The reason why 5 tickers is because when we go and upload in the custom level for each of these boxes, and if you read the data here, you can upload up to 4,000 characters, which is about 5 tickers. So you can upload the data there, and now I can simply go on one of the other assets that I had, and then the data is there, right? So very, very nice and simple. Oops, sorry. Let me share this tab here. All right, so I was referring to these boxes here, 4,000 characters, 5 tickers per box. So you can have up to 20 plus tickers on one indicator. So let me know if there's any questions. Yes, all indicators are included. So when you subscribe, you can connect your TradingView account within the dashboard. So if you go back to the dashboard, you simply click on TradingView, you connect your TradingView account here. So you will connect your TradingView account, save and connect, and the indicators will pop up under your invite only section of the indicators. So look for them in the invite only section, and they will be here. Right. The next thing is conversion. Okay, so we showed you that we have QQQ data, we have SPX data, but I trade yes, and I want to have intraday data, right? So let's go back to yes, and let's take away, and let's go into Quinn, and let's say I want now SPY and SPX and QQQ and NDX, and I want intraday gamma levels. Okay, so I copy the levels, I go back on TradingView, go into the custom level, and let's now remove this one, and just paste these levels. And now I'm on yes. And as you can see, you're not going to see any because I didn't upload any of the ES levels, I believe. Let's see. Right, so I have this ticked here. Right, so right now, I'm not going to see any levels on ES, right? The reason is you're going to get another message, no levels for this ticker because I did not upload any ES levels, right? Now I want to convert SPX to ES, right? So I can come down the indicator, I can tick on this box, and I can use an auto ratio, and I can automatically calculate the conversion. What the auto ratio does, very, very important, is calculating the conversion by looking at the end of day price of SPX and ES, right? So not necessarily that may be the best way because, of course, if there are movements overnight, if there's a lot of volatility, you might want to monitor the ratio, right? So here what we have is the ratio of ES and SPX. And as you can see, right now, the ratio is 1.01. If we were to convert right now, the conversion would be totally wrong because very simple, SPX is not trading. ES has been trading overnight. So the ratio is really high because ES price changed a lot overnight. SPX is still there. So until 9:31 in about 9 minutes, we're not going to see this ratio readjusting, right? So what you see here is essentially how the ratio moves intraday, right? It can go from 1.00838 to 1.00801. It doesn't really matter because this difference is not going to make a big change in your levels, maybe 1 point or 2 points. So essentially, you want to really convert using a ratio that is close to this value here, 1.00827, right? Why is that? Because during market hours, the two assets are trading very close there, right? So they are trading almost at the same level and the ratio does not change much. Of course, it changes, but it will be roughly in the same level. So we get a lot of questions like, what ratio should I use? What is the best way of doing it? Best practice, you need to change the ratio once a day. Don't worry about if the ratio changes intraday. Once a day, it's enough for you to have accurate level on your chart. And what we've done is we now added a new indicator, which is the level conversion that automatically calculates the ratio for you. So I told you we want to be in this area 1.00825. T1, T2 ratio, you see they are basically in this area. So taking one or the other one would basically give you the most accurate measure. The last price is 1.01. This is wrong because the market on SPX is not trading. So this ratio would be currently wrong and would basically plot the levels on a different side of the chart. When you go into the default, we chose the default to be 10 a.m. Eastern and this one we changed it yesterday, but that's going to be 3:30. So you're going to see this as 3:30 Eastern. Why did we do that? Because it's important that you take the ratio whenever the market is trading. So you want to take it either in the morning, it could be 9:35, it could be 9:45, it could be 10 a.m., doesn't matter. Or you could take it at 3:30. So as you can see, as long as you take it in a period where the market is trading, the ratio will not change much. So as long as you see that this area is roughly on the average of this, then you should be good to go. And then we can go here and we can go on our level conversion here, and I can simply switch this to manual ratio 1.00841, and then I'm done for the day. With that, I'll wait for the guys to come back and we're going to start the live trading. And we're gonna go through those questions as well after the session. I think I don't know, Patrick and Maciej, if you're back.
I was all the time here. Yeah.
Okay, good, nice. So hopefully that helps. So this should probably make it easier. I think the important part is not to overcomplicate this. If you take one or the other one, the difference will be very, very small. So there's not going to be a lot of difference in having this or this, or this or this. Right?
Exactly. It is really, I think, the biggest trap what you can really have with MenthorQ and also in trading is if you're starting to overcomplicate stuff, try to make it as simple as possible for you. Don't overcomplicate it. Sometimes people overcomplicating too many stuff, and in the moment where you reduce something from your chart, where you are focusing only on few things, you become much more clearly, you become much more sharply, and you will see also on your trading career with the years, you start to reduce things. You don't do stuff what you was doing before because you know exactly that's bullshit what I was doing 1 year, 2 years, 3 years before. Now you're focusing only on the core things, on basic stuff, and don't overcomplicate it. This is really one of the key.
Yeah. And there's a question, and then I let you guys put on your chart. I didn't get the last part. When do we need to change from auto to manual? It's like you don't need to change, but it depends on if you want to be more precise, if you want to account for volatility, and which price you want to use to convert, right? So auto ratio will use end of day prices, so closing prices. Manual ratio would use the ratio that we see here. So, especially during after hours. So if you trade the London session or the Asia session, I would always suggest use a manual ratio. The ratio on TradingView updates at 9:31. So at 9:31, this would be probably very similar to what we have with the auto ratio. But it could be that there is an event after market. The future market moves very fast, like an Nvidia earnings or like an earnings report. So then in the morning, you might want to use a manual ratio. It's really up to you. You have the flexibility to choose either or. We've just simplified the way to get that ratio and convert.
And I think the market will be open in 2 minutes, but yeah, you can going over the answer about the Q scores really quick, and then we will going into the charts.
So when the Q scores are high with low volatility and high momentum, a solid guideline for planning the trade. Yeah, so I think this is probably we have to spend a little bit more time, but basically, so the Q score option and Q score momentum can help you define the bias in the market. The Q score volatility can help you understand the risk, and the Q score seasonality can help you understand if you have missed something and what can seasonality and data going back about 20 years tell you about the condition of the market today. So the idea behind it is really simplifying different data for you and giving you a clear path for the day with the daily bias. But if you want to learn more about it, just log into our documentation, ask Quinn, and you get access to basically the videos and tutorials that we have on QScore.
Exactly. That's why we have Quinn, so that you get instantly the answer what you need. And one thing is how you can also use Quinn is when Quinn gives you an answer, you can re-answer and say, can you guide me step by step through the step, so that you will be learning step by step what you have looking for. Ask Quinn, what is your strategy, what you want to learn, and then ask Quinn, guide me step by step, and then learn every single day the one step, and then the next step, and the next step. don't overload yourself with so many information. It will be not working. All right. Guys, market is now open. As I was saying yesterday, I was already take some trade during the London session. I was posting this also in our program because we were seeing a really nice breakout from the Asia range during London time. And now it looks like we're getting some momentum more to the upside, but I won't be patient. I would be wait. I would not take care of the first movement, because what we was learning the last few days, we get first one direction and then we turn over to the other direction. So that's why I don't like personally the shake off in the morning. I'll be more the guy who's more patience, just waiting and then take action. Because if you're looking into SPX, again, we are now on 6795. 6800 was yesterday our psychology level. We are not above 6800. We are not above high wall level. So that's why I be a little bit more carefully with the long side. If we are above 6800, we can look into this again and can think about what we can do, because NDX is also approaching now 25,100. What is this meaning for NQ and ES? NQ 25,300. We are already 10 points above the round number, and we have 2 points left for 6850, who's also the high vol 0DTE on ES. So let's wait a little bit until we going over 6850 ES and 6800 on SPX. This is one of my stuff, what I be waiting for until I do something. If you're looking into the VIX have a strong momentum since 8:15, since CPI, looking more to the downside. A plus setup, every time I'm hitting put support 0DTE, call resistance or call resistance 0DTE, we're getting some reaction. We was already getting the direction, and we can now looking more to 16 high vol 0DTE, but there's already a little tiny trap on 16 on the VIX, because if we're looking into this, the last few times when we was hitting the 16, we was getting the reaction to the upside. So that's why I be really careful on SPX and ES, because we are not above 6,800, we are not above 6,850, and we are looking more and more to touching the 16 on VIX. So with this in mind, personally, I be at the moment a little bit more carefully. And what's going on your side, Maciej?
Right now, I'm looking on the reaction between one day max and HVL 0DTE, so 6840, 6850 ES, what they do. And if you have chance coming back to the point when CPI was pushing to the market, do we revisit this point or not? So right now we are sitting in the box, and later I will have some decisions. Right now, wait and see.
And then we won't make this as much as possible interactive with you guys. Andrew, you was asking, did Patrick say that the strategy is looking for reserval because we have to overlapping one day max and high wall? So number one, I will never have any single strategy. I will have always a plan A. The plan A is when I want to go long, what I want to see. My plan B is when I want to go short and what I want to see. And my plan C is when I don't want to get involved in the market. At the moment, I was already explained plan C. This is what I have at the moment in my mind. I don't want to go in the market. It's not the right time. And also for the long side, as I said, 6,800. I want to see that we're going over 6,800 on SPX. ES 6850, because this was yesterday also the reaction point, and maybe take a closer look at the VIX 16. If you're coming to 16, there we was the reaction. So at the moment, my plan is plan C, stay out of the market. Why? Also, I was making already a good trade during London session when we was breaking the Asia range. So for this reason, plan C is at the moment in play. I hope this answers your question, my friend. And again, you can put in any questions as long we are not in a trade, or me or Maciej, we will try to answer everything what could be possible. And it's, of course, trading related. Maciej, what is your plan at the moment?
Right now, I was trying some shorts after coming back from one-day max on ES. I protected this and wait and see right now mode. If we're coming back to the zone where we start this move or not, because gap before that we have right now from yesterday close to right now to the morning to the bell, staying in my mind, do they come back and cover this or not?
Exactly.
And the tricky point, we yesterday closed 24.9. Right now we are sitting near 350 point above.
All right, I have an open position at the moment. I'll be short. My entry price is 25,252 on NQ. I will explain in a few seconds why I was taking the short. But let me first save some profits, because if you pull back, that the profits are safe. All right, I saved 10 points. $20 points are safe. So now I can explain, guys. Let me know, Fabio, is this now my stream? Can you go to my stream, please?
Sorry, yeah. Let me know, guys,
All
when
right.
when I should change the screen. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so why I was getting short now, what was triggering me, and this is why I love MenthorQ and I love the end of the day levels, guys. So we was already talking about that we have to going through one-day max and then high vol 0 DTE, as you remind that on the playbook session what we was having before, the long side is not safe, because we have here some big resistance between high vol 0 DTE, one-day max. Also, we have on SPX the round number 6800. And what was triggering me to the short was really simple approach. So we was touching high vol SPX, we was failing. We was touching high vol 0 DTE on ES. We was touching high vol 0 DTE on QQQ. We was touching high vol on NDX, and let's go. So 1 time, 2 time, 3 times we was not going over this. 4 times, sorry, my friends. 4 times we're not going over high vol. This was perfect short entry. And now let it run. Come on, guys. So let's save now some profits, 30 points, that's enough. So if the market pulls back, we're making already profits, no worries. But come on, guys, this was a really nice setup. Really nice. And that's why I'm telling you, having ES, SPX, SPY, NQ, NDX, QQQ, also the VIX, also the bond, the high yield corporate bonds ETF, on the same charts and areas that you can read this much better. Because if you was having the information that ES failing, SPX failing, QQQ failing, NDX failing, amazing. You cannot have a better confirmation, guys. And look at this, how good the trade is now. Perfect. Okay, I'm out now. They kicked me out. My trailing stop was maybe too tight, but profit is profit. First trade during the New York session was a really good setup. That's it. Also, you're seeing the high yield bonds, where's the risk off, risk on indicator. He was touching the resistance here. And then boom, he was also not going over this. Great point. Great idea for the short. Now just wait. You was taking the short also, Maciej?
Yep, I was trying on ES.
Amazing, I love it. And guys, let us know, especially if you be also pro member who now watching also the stream. Guys, do you was take the trade? You was seeing this also, that we touching the high walls multiple times. We was not getting over this. And you see also that the VIX is changing the direction. Guys, let me know. Yes or no? Are you now making a good trade? Are you be in the position? Come on, guys. We are a team here. No matter if you're a MenthorQ subscriber, if you're a premium subscriber, if you're pro subscriber, if you listen to this, we are a team now, today, in this stream. We're making trading great again, guys. Let's go. I was taking the short, still in the position. Amazing. Good job, my friend. Good job. ES, SPX, and SPY are the same market. Can you explain the Confluence? I will explain this in a few seconds. Let me first focusing on the chart. Because we're hitting now again one day max, the 25-200 round number on NQ. Also, we now one day max on QQQ and NDX based on end of the day levels. And we're having now a decision point with GEX 4, GEX 3. And if we can break input support 0 DTE, one day max. So for the next downside move, or if we're staying in the range now, or if the market will be pulling back, I will not open any trade.
Gold coming to the magnetic zone. HVL GEX put support. We are not such a far. Do we get kiss and go? I hope so.
All right. So you was asking me about SPX, ES, and SPY. So I have something in my mind, and SPX is for me the true. SPX is the reference. So SPX is the mother. ES is for me my derivative market where we have hedging overnight, there we have leverage. And then if you're looking into the SPY, this is the cash ETFs where flow, VWAP, rebalancing, all the stuff is happening. And last but not least, for us as MenthorQ users, why is this important? Come on, guys. Why is this important to have ES, SPX and SPY at the same time open. Why? Come on, guys. We're talking about options market. What's the difference between ES based on options market, SPX, and S&P 500? What's the difference? What's the big difference, guys? Come on. It's the option chain. When we're talking about ES, we are here on MenthorQ, guys. ES is based on the futures option chain from the ES market. SPX from SPX option chain. SPY from the SPY option chain. So we don't convert something that you have ES levels. So that's the big difference. You have the overview from all option chains. And that's crazy. Tell me someone who gives you the opportunity like this without converting something. Pure option chain. I don't know who can deliver this.
I can take the next one. The option levels are going to line up anyway because they are just derived of each other. Not really, because you need to understand, and I think we tried to explain this at the beginning, there are different types of participants that will be active on SPX, SPY, and ES, right? So we explained this before, right? SPY would be more longer-term investors, so they might have a different view than a day trader. So they might hedge or they might position themselves on the option chain at different levels. So not necessarily the SPY levels would be the same as the SPX level, right? And actually, there is a lot of the time there is divergence, which is actually a good insight to have.
Yep, good explanation.
Gold, beautiful. HDL, and go.
Let me know if this answers your question, because it's really, really important to understand this. And if this would be confusing, I would be not using this. And it gives you a really nice edge if you have everything on your chart. Trust me.
So I'm just looking at your chart, Maciej, so let me know whenever you guys want to switch from one to the other one.
Sure, no boys. VIX is going up. In next to few minutes, we will get a new snapshot.
I was open a new short position at 184.25. I will also explain why. Let me first save 10 points so that I cannot lose money anymore. All right, 10 points profit, so they take me out. Okay, it's good. So can you jump into my chart again, Fabio?
Yep.
And now this is the point where we having our edge, yeah, when we have everything side by side. I will be take out the drawings, guys, for you. I hope the market will be not dropping when I explain this. So,
now it's time to go up.
No, I explained it, man.
Okay.
It's dropping and I missed this. Fuck. Well, it's okay. So we are here for you guys. So this is much more important for me, to be really honest. One thing what we have is we are at the moment back on put support. Whereas basically my A plus setup, as I was saying before, when we're touching put support UDT, or call resistance UDT, most likely we can expect some reaction here. And then why we should have everything side by side. I was mapped this out before. Look at this. We are hanging now here on GAX 4. Again, I'm using end of the day levels here, also futures. I not convert something. We was sitting here on GAX 3. So we was finding here our resistance also. Here we go. And then I was looking into, and this is why I was building my short position, that we can break out of the put support 0 DTE and then possible coming back where we was, but it was not working. That's why I was saving my profits with a tiny trading. And he was basically seeing this. There was the decision point. We have to break X4. We have to break X3. We have to go through put support 0 DTE. And also we have to go through 1-day max, and we have to break X5 here. And with all this in mind, you can make much better decisions. And this is why I'm liking this so much, because it's lined up everything like charm. Because I'm not going blindly short because I see, yeah, we are now on put support 0 DTE, so now let's take the short. No. Because I know exactly there's something on ES, there's something on SPX where we have break first, and we are also on put support on SP on the VIX. So let's wait. If we are taking the short, small risk, if you be directly in profit, save the profit, go to break even. As I was doing, I was taking only 10 points. That's okay. It's money, and then let it run. And if it doesn't work, perfect. We save our profits and developing now a new trading plan. Yeah. I'm watching on YouTube. The screen is partial. Rest all it's covered with QR code. Sorry, we streaming at the moment only on YouTube. Are you trading only in end of the day data? If you mean me, yes. I'm using 99% of my time only end of the day.
Not only you. Usually, I'm also.
We cannot hear you, Maciej.
Usually,
a little bit louder.
Now, 1 2 1 2.
A little bit louder.
I hope now it will be better.
Yeah.
So usually I'm use also futures and using few snapshots per day. Conversion from QQQ to NQ, SPY to ES, GLD to gold, EBIT BITO to Bitcoin.
And as I said, we was touching put support. There's some reaction. Well, let's see how the market is reacting on this now. At the moment, I don't like it, how the market is forming. That's why just wait minimum 6 minutes for the top of the hour, where also the 4-hour candle will be closing, and see how the range is forming. And then let's developing the next trading plan. Any question, guys? Any question from you, Fabio? So personally, I was already doing this session 2 trades. Well, yeah, let's see what we get now.
Gold after touching HVL0DT, coming back to GEX2 with mega pressure, awesome. VIX dropping.
And you know, Fabio, people who are in our live trading room, in our pro room, they get every single day some nice feedback because they learn every single day something. And this is also what I was thinking now. We are now together here in the live stream, I would say 90 minutes, because we have the playbook session before. Now we are in the market live, and we was already learning something, correct? And this is something what we're doing every single day. So we was learning when economic data came out, how really respected the one-day maxes. We was talking about it in the beginning. We was seeing this. We was stopping with the first impulse on the one-day max. Perfect. This was such an amazing idea that the one-day max was there, and boom, if he was in the trade, take the profits. And then we was really thinking about, okay, if the market goes higher, what we have on different assets like SPX, like ES, we was not touching one-day max, but then we was thinking about, hey, the area between high vol 0 DTE, one-day max, 6,800 SPX, it's a good idea to wait maybe until we become on 6,800 to think about new positions. If you want, especially going long, waiting 6,850 if you want to go long. So this was my trading idea. Was good. And then when we have the shot, we was live in the market. We was seeing, everybody was seeing that we was touching the high wall and we getting the reaction. How amazing is this, guys? One-day max, boom, working. We was seeing high wall, boom, touching on SPX. We was touching this on QQQ. We was touching this on NDX. Bam, market goes down. Come on, guys. This is amazing. And if you learn this with experience, then next time when something like this is forming, you just remind about this. Take screenshots, put this in your trading journal, and then remind the next time on stuff like this when this has happened. We was touching now put support. I was telling you, if we're touching put support, we will seeing some reaction in the market. Not always, but most of the time, because put support and put support UDT, one of my A+ setup. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was saying this. And if we now on SPX, since we're touching put support, we're going from 6,770 to near 6,790. 20 points. Guys, 20 points. Boom. ES, 20 points. Zack, scalping. Bam. We was touching put support. Just wait for confirmation. Bam, take it. That's only little tiny puzzles, day by day by day, where we're looking into, where we teaching, where we practicing. Maciej, you're also a gold trader. What you was doing on gold today? What you was looking for? Is there some gold nugget what you can share also now?
Yeah, I was telling you about what is going on. Perhaps we are going to our magnetic zone area where we have exactly HVL0TT, GEX1 and put support. And as usually, one of the favorite setup, kiss and go. So first touch and go. Boom, we have it. 43, 40, and right now near 20 points in, I'm guessing, 15 minutes. What to say? Everything works. From the label to the label.
All right, team. We have now top of the hour. Let's us breathe for 1 minute and give us a comment here if you enjoy the live trading session, the commentary, how we doing this, how we explain something. Give us a yes or no. if you enjoy it, to see if we're on the right path. If you don't enjoy it, let us know why, and then we can going into the points.
But you know, it's sitting in my mind, if we have that kind of pressure and everything, that core resistance 0 DT and gamma wall with blind spot and GEX 3 above, it's only time for us.
Yeah.
Later, 1 day max, GEX 8, GEX 5, 4410, GCG, February contract, the most traded right now. But first things first, what is going on in this zone around 4370, and then another idea, because as we usually repeat and repeat, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, have a plan A, have a plan B, have a plan C.
Oh, yeah, you missed rule number 2. So rule number 1, have a plan A, have a plan B, have a plan C. Know exactly the reason when you want to going into the market, know your risk. But we have also rule number 2.
Remember about rule number 1?
No, yeah, okay, then we have 3 rules. So rule number 1, have plan A, plan B, plan C. Rule number 2, remind on plan A, B, C, and then ask yourself, is this now the right time to going into the market? Is this the right setup? And is this also the right location? And last but not least, you was adding something to this. This is the right condition. So that's really the 2 major rules what we have. Having plan A, B, C, asking timing, setup, locations, and condition, and then let's go. And if we have everything set up, then we can jump in. And now take a look at this. We coming back to the high vol 0 DTE where we was pulled down at the opening. So this is now really interesting to watch again. Will we happen some move again? This is at the moment what's in my question. But if you're going through the high wall on SPX and also on ES, we have a little bit higher on SPY, the high wall. So that's why if you're breaking this, there are some other high wall 0 DT. That's why it's good to have this side by side. And last but not least, let's watching also QQQ with the high wall and NDX. So now we're becoming more and more in the decision area. But again, 6,800 SPX is for me my key area where I want to be taking the next actions. And also I want to see on VIX that we're breaking the candle where we was breaking before, and then coming back to 60. Fabio, are you also trading? What are you doing at the moment?
I'm watching you guys and learning. Not
sitting with logs and praying to the God.
what
you was learning today, Fabio? Let us know.
No, I think so. The setup that you have is actually it's awesome because it allows you to see very quickly point of reaction on asset that might actually impact the asset that you trade. So even if you are just trading one future, this view can actually give you a lot of information and quick reaction, and you demonstrate what you did, and that's awesome, I think.
Yeah, and we was having a fight about my setup. Do you remember? You was saying, "Hey Patrick, can you make this? Can you change this a bit?" And I was saying, "No, I will not change this because this is my edge. I cannot change it. I cannot trade without this." So, and now, guys, we're getting again reaction high vol. So let's see if this would be working again like before, but just waiting a bit. It's not the right time now. All right, NT is 268 on NQ short. So let's see. I will put my stop on break even directly so that I cannot lose anymore if we get a pullback. And if we get the short, boom, nice right again. Nice setup as before. All right, they take me out with profits. And that's good. Trade idea was not working directly because I'm trading only my trade idea, my trading plan. If it doesn't work, then I'm out. I'm not holding to losers. I don't let losers run. If my trade idea not work, I be good, I'm out. And if I'm seeing the same chance again, I will be joined again in the market. No worries. But for now, no. And I give always 3 shots my trading plan. If it doesn't work on the first time, then there are 2 shots left. And then we are good. Maciej, do you have any positions?
Right now, no. Right now, no. I'm after closing longs on NQ, watching what is going on in our zones one more time when we start our session. So HVL 1-day max GEX and similar view on NQ. Gold, the same view. After
No, just wait. I get filled in the short position again. Entry price 258. So second shot. So I'll be in the short, but I will be put this also directly on break even with some points, 5 points. So if the pullbacks comes, I make always profits. So I cannot do this anymore. So second shot, the full price is 258 on NQ. Okay, sorry. Let's go, Maciej. Sorry.
So one more time, we come back where we start our session on ES and watching what is going on here. Who will be win, bulls or bears? Looking at the candle right now from the price action, especially on ES. Short is interesting, but we are not such a far to this upper line, and later still in my mind sitting GEX, blind, spot 6 and HVL 2 times. So right now I will be staying and
I'm out with 20 points profit, sorry, again.
Watching what is going on. And gold, the same view after the zone when we drop and make kiss and go on HVL 0 DTE. Right now we are battling, so I'm waiting to see what is going on later and join.
All right, so let's jump into the questions.
And
I have a talk with Quinn, but I can't come across on Patrick's model. Could I get quick 5-minute speed run on what Patrick looks for using end of the day explanation for ABC? Yes, we can talk about this. Give me Give me some minutes, and then we're talking about this, because we have at the moment a good short move. We was getting exactly the same setup again, where we was touching the high walls. Same what before, and then let's see what will happen on the 1-day maxes, and then we can talk about plan A, plan B, plan C. And of course, this is not in Quinn. Quinn is about MenthorQ and not about me. It's not my agent.
Why not? Ask Quinn.
This would be the next.
Next generation after update. No worries, Pat.
Yeah, but then you must also adding to Quinn that he say first time stupid question. So this is very often what I'm telling. All right, so okay, let's go. Let's jump into this. Having a plan A, plan B, plan C. So good point. You're talking about the model ABC. It's not a model. It's more about risk management for me, because what is what is one of the biggest risk for a trader? I believe personally is when you have a bias, when you think that the market goes up, and your bias is the market goes up, and then the market goes down. But you're thinking the market goes up, and you buy, and taking losses, because there's at the moment a strong downside move. Same on the upper side. If you think the market goes down, and you're taking all the time the longs, and then, everybody knows what has happened when you have a bias and your bias is not working very well. I have also the same problem in the past. That's why I was coming to the point where I was saying to myself, I must change something. And this was really to be neutral, having a neutral mind. But when you listen to psychologists and experienced traders, to have a neutral mind, it's sometimes not that easy. But it becomes much more easier if you have a plan A where you say to yourself, okay, what I want really to see, that I'm taking the long side, that I'm pushing the button, and what you want to see. You're developing now a plan. Okay, I want to see that we're going over 6,800 on SPX with strong volume. I want to risk 20 points to making 40 points. Or I want more scalping. I want only risk 2 points to making 10 points. So you have a clear plan. And then this you start to thinking about plan B. Oh, what has happened if we're not breaking 6,800 and we come back to high wall? Then I won't go short, but what I want to see, that I put in the short. You're doing the same stuff again. And last but not least, you have also a plan C. Oh, if we not came to 6,800, where possible there's a breakout with strong momentum to the upside or a really good short opportunity, what should I do? Okay, that's plan C. I stay out of the market. That's not my trade idea. Correct? And in this case, when you have a plan A, when you have a plan B, and you have a plan C, you can become now more patient, because you're waiting that your setup is showing up. You can become now more disciplined, because without a plan, you have not patience and you have less discipline, because you need something to be disciplined. And then what we was also saying was about timing, setup, and location. Let's think about, you have now the plan A and B about the 6,800 on SPX on the high wall. Yeah. And you say, okay, if we're going over 6,800 and there's strong momentum, I will take the long. All right, this is your plan. Maybe it's a good plan, maybe not. But to verify if this is a good plan or not, we was adding also something that we ask ourselves before we execute the trade. Is this now the right time to going into the market? I will give you one example how you can verify if this is now a good time to going into the market. Think about it would be now 1 minute before economic data release, like CPI or something like this, and you are now on 6,800. Would this be now the right time to going into the market? Of course not, because you wait for the economic data. If the market is open now, 1 minute before market open, would you be going now in the trade? No, you would be waiting the first minute or 2 minutes before you jump in. So this is the question. Is this the right time? Or is this now lunchtime and volume is gone or something like this? Or Asia session? No, maybe it's not the right time now. All right. So then second question, location. The 6,800, we was taking a look into this. Okay, let's jump into the 4-hour time frame. This is how I define my location. If I'm looking to the left side, where we are now at the market, the high wall, if you be really honest to ourselves, let's take out the indicator. I make the SPX now a little bit bigger on my side. Is this now the right location to going into the market and going short? Absolutely. Why? Take a closer look here. How often he was talking about the gap here. So we was not coming to this area where we in the middle of the gap, where we trying to fill the old gap from 24 October. No, we was not doing this. So it's maybe an right location. Setup. All right, let's talk about setup. Bring back the gamma levels on SPX. So we was seeing before on the other candle, we were going now back to the 15-minute time frame. We were seeing already that we touching high wall. So please hold the line, indicator is loading. But as you know, you were seeing before that we touching already high wall. And then we was falling down. And now we come back and retest the high wall level again. And whoop, we flush down now. This is a good setup when you're touching high wall and going short after a retest. Yes, it could be a good setup. And then market condition. So many people using Bookmap, other people using Atas, other people using different sources for looking into volume. You are wondering maybe why I have no volume on my chart. Yes, I think you're wondering. You would say, hey, if you be a professional trader, you must have volume on your chart. Oh, maybe I would be agree with you, maybe not. Because you know what? On TradingView, you can click here on option, you get the option chain, and I have all my volume here. So I'm looking only to volume based on options because I have my action options. And then I'm going into the option chain. I have here all my volumes, all my volume nodes. And then can I take a look into this? Is this now the right condition? Is there enough volume in the market? Yes or no? And then you execute your trading plan. Really simple approach. Have a plan A, have a plan B, have a plan C. Ask yourself, is this the right time to going into the market? Is there something? Is the Fed speaker showing up? Is economic data? Is this market close? Is the London US overlapping? London close? What's going on? Is this the right time? Location, where we are in the market at the moment. What is the trend in the market? If you go on the daily chart, for example, 4-hour chart, what's the trend at the moment? You know? And then condition, volume. No matter what you're looking for. If you're an options trader, you're looking into options. If you're futures trader, maybe you're looking into volume. I've been futures trader, but I'm looking only into options volume. I hope this explains your answer. It's available every single day if you be a pro member, of course. And if you be a MenthorQ member, the playbook sessions also available for you every single day until Friday. So we don't show up Fridays in the premium room with playbook session from Monday to Thursday. We are there for our NQ playbook session. It will be hosting from Maciej. It's the gold morning, where we're talking about gold setups, what we're thinking about. We're developing plan A, B, C together. Then we have our NQ playbook session, like same what we was doing today. It start at 8:30. This is mainly hosting from my side, where we're talking also where we can looking for what I'm thinking about the market. We're developing maybe plan A, maybe plan B together. And then at 9:15 until 11:30, we have our live trading session in the MenthorQ Pro Room. And yeah, learning, observing, holding ourselves accountability, making sure that we shorten your learning curve, making sure that you can become a better trader. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I think to add to that, what you can see here, so if you're a premium member, you'll get access to about 3 hours per day, something like that, of live morning, NQ, and afternoon. And then on top of that, if you become a pro member, this is the schedule for next year. So what you see here, of course, Patrick, and then we can talk about it. You have the daily live trading Monday to Friday. Then you have Mondays and Wednesday, you have a market outlook. So we go over preparation, events, how to look at the market for the next day. And then on Tuesday and Thursday, you get a masterclass on different topics. So it depends on obviously what's going on in the market. We might be focusing on gamma levels and volume profile, gamma levels and option chain. Like it's variable based on the market condition. And then once a month, you get also a group mentorship with the team the second Sunday of every month.
Exactly. Yeah. Today we have also masterclass session. What is the topic from today? It's really simple, because this is the last masterclass session of this year. What is the topic? Really simple. Today we're talking about what we was learning this year as trader, how we was become better, what was our biggest struggles, how we overcome the struggles. And today's masterclass session would be not recorded, because we talking about goals, we're talking about struggles. So everyone have open mic today, because I want to make this more personality today, that we can talk about as a team about our biggest struggles, how we overcome this, what is our goal for 2026, so that we can hold each other accountability for the next year. Because at the end, our currency, Fabio, in the pro room is only one, and this is that you become better. That you post something and say in the chat, "Oh man, today was a really great day. Perfect, green today." And I want not read any P&L or something like this, because P&L is relative. I want to see that you grow as a trader, that you become more green than red, that you understand risk management, that you understand how to use MenthorQ, that you at the end shorten your learning curve and become a better self than the day before. Because in trading, I believe we're trading always for the next day. So this is why I become every single day a little bit better, and then the compound effect will push you to the limit. Yeah. That's what I believe.
Yeah, and what you see here, and then we'll go back in the chart, is if you have any questions. So for those who want to shorten the learning curve, apply what Patrick is using, Maciej, what they are teaching you, you can join us now for December. We're going to start our holidays promo tomorrow. But for the pro, this is really a special promotion that we have. So you can join with a quarterly plan for 3 months for $299. and you'll be able to spend 90 days with the guys in the room. And of course, if you want to continue, you can. But again, remember, the point here is the time that you spend with our traders. We are live probably 15 plus hours a day for pro, and another 10-15 hours a day for a week for premium. So very, very important. This is really time that you can use to enhance your training journey, learn new skills, and obviously practice with the team and see what the other team members are doing live every day.
Exactly. What is with premium members, Fabio, who are already MenthorQ premium members? How they can upgrade to the Pro Quarterly?
So if you are on a monthly plan, you should be able to upgrade. If you're on a yearly plan, you would have to add it on top because the system does not allow to upgrade. But send me a message and we'll take care of you guys as well. And the site is the link that you should use is the QR code that you see here. So if you scan the QR code right here, and I'll post the link as well, you'll be able to access the promotion. I'll post it here in the comment. So for example, if you are a premium yearly customer, you can upgrade to the pro yearly, and the amount that you still have available will be discounted from this price here. So that will give you a nice upgrade and discount. If you're looking at the pro quarter, then you need to reach out to us. There's a question from Ivan. The discount would be for the first quarter, yes. So,
but no worries. If you don't like it after the 3 months, then this was a really good invest, because he was paying only 99 each month. He was heavily discounted. Everything is fine. But if you like what we're doing in the 3 months and you give us 3 months time to work together with you, then the next charge, where there's no more the 299, this will be doesn't hurt you, because you know exactly the value what we give you, and we try really our best that you become a better version of yourself, because this will be next year will be amazing. We're doing now the live trading room for 1 year, but what will be happen 2026? Boom! This will be the game changer. We have also now Maciej, who is hosting this with me together. And you have 2 different peoples, 2 different mindsets, 2 different teachings. But at the end, we have all the same goals. We want to become better. And this is powerful. Trust me, guys. All right, I have no position open anymore. I know we are coming now a little bit over the high wall, but guys, what I can say to myself, one good trade, another one good trade. I was trading, as I was telling you before, the Asia breakout in the London session, where we come really good back, and then I was taking the shorts 2 times, where we was hitting the high wall and then we fall down. So my day is already good. I'll be here for you. I have no position open. We can handle every questions what you have, and then I think I'll be good. I don't know, Maciej, if you be trading something or if you
right
be
now,
in the market.
SPX near 6800, so round number. We are near, also still fighting near the upper band of this channel, which I show you on the beginning. So for me it's interesting. And later, still in my mind, GEX 8, blind spot 6, HVL. And right now we are jumping to positive regime from HVL perspective and not only. So HVL, another one from the whole view. Why not? It's interesting. Also, what is important for me, that tomorrow we have rollover, quarterly options, and few others. So especially I will not have any exposure for Xmas period. And I'm guessing like you, I will take some holidays. Gold, still battle in the same zone. VIX is dropping, very good. Bitcoin sitting in the point. So, do we have this pressure to cross this, especially on ES? If yes, then we know exactly. Similar view on gold. Yep, or not. Is good time. 20 minutes. European market will be closed. Ask yourself. But in next few minutes we will get another new snapshot from intraday perspective. So no worries. We have time to manage everything about this. Yep, gold is interesting right now. Boom. So let's go. Come on, fellas. More passion, more footwork, more energy. Come on.
And guys, one thing is really important. Refresh your mind. Get out of your charts. Make a break for 5 minutes. It's so important because we cannot sit every single minute on the charts. Take a walk, 5 minutes, refresh your mind, come back. If the market rips to the upside, to the downside, doesn't matter. There's always an opportunity in the market. So refresh your mind. I was also, where I was calm in the last minutes, I was also taking a little tiny walk in my house and make a coffee to refresh myself. This is really important, guys. You will not miss something. All right. Fabio, can we take a look into the dashboard? Can you give us some preview about the intraday snapshots, what was changing, how it looks like, so that the people have also an idea if they're liking more the intraday levels, how they can use it, also on our dashboard, what information we give them. Because as I said, I'll be hanging on the end of the day, but I know intraday levels are also really important, and we have really good solution for this. Who need this? Who want this? And maybe
Yep.
Fabio, it's now the right time to take a closer look into our snapshots and how we can use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we start from the end of day. I always start from the end of day. The first thing we want to look is the gamma condition at the end of each day to see if we close the day in a positive or negative gamma environment. Why is this important? I'm going to show you also how we can go into Quinn and basically get that information. But basically, positive and negative gamma will help us understand how the volatility will play out throughout the day, and if we are going to be in a trending market, in a ranging market, in a very volatile market. And you can use that information to adjust your kind of trade management, whether it's switching from ES to MES because maybe you want to take less risk, or maybe you want to have bigger stop losses, bigger take profit target based on the volatility and the condition. Then we can look, there was a question at the beginning on the Q score. So the Q score tells me basically based on yesterday's activity, the bias coming from the option, the momentum, volatility, and seasonality, right? So we're still in, although the market is positive, right? So if we look at the market today, we're up. Of course, there was economic release. So we can start from the end of the day to look at the data from yesterday. We can also look at the positioning. So as you see, we have a lot of negative gamma at these areas for the zero DTs data, and our matrix also shows a lot of kind of like negative gamma there. So we had a question about how to read the matrix, what the matrix tells me. The matrix is a great way to start the day because it will tell you basically first, these three columns here will tell you how much gamma, delta, and open interest is expiring for any of the expirations. So if you're a day trader, if you're trading ES, you still want to know that today and tomorrow we have about 39% of negative gamma expiring on SPX. Here you can also see the change. So you can see basically, let me make it a bit bigger. If we've seen an increase in negative positioning at the end of the day yesterday, or if we see a positive increase of gamma, and that can tell you kind of the sentiment in the market there. But then we can also go, and here I have my dashboard set up like this. We were talking about this yesterday in our SPX recap. basically the change in Q score can really help you understand when the market is shifting. So when we see this really big drop on the downside and to the upside, it can tell you how the bias is changing in the market, right? So now we are still in a bearish environment, but let's see what changes at the end of the day. The next step is intraday. So when I look at the intraday, what I want to see is not only the today's data, the 0DTEs, but also how the gamma changes throughout the day. So when we open up the dashboard here, we are going to be able to see our net gamma exposure for 0DTEs options intraday. You can see the number of snapshots. So we are at the 10 a.m. snapshot. We can go back to the 9:35 and we can go back to the 7:45. So the 7:45 would be the net gamma exposure with the updated open interest in the morning pre-market. We open and we see obviously a change in this chart. So you can clearly see how at the open at 9:50 and 9:35, we see a lot of more positive gamma piling up at these areas. So we have our core resistance 0DTEs at 6,800. And then our put support 6,750. And then let's see how these change throughout the day. So here you can also see if the core resistance went up or down, if the HVL went up or down throughout the different snapshot. And what I really like to see also is the change in gamma from one snapshot to the other one, because it clearly tells me if we are in the right side of the move. It can tell me if something is shifting, am I on the wrong side, etc. So I really use that. And then of course, I look at the intraday liquidity snapshot. So we saw in the end of day that we were in a negative gamma environment, but as you can see here, we're now back in a positive gamma environment, right? So we're now back in a positive gamma condition. Here we can also see a lot of information, top volume, top positive jack strike. So this tool right here is really, really powerful. So I hope you guys can make use of it. And then of course, this is going to go directly into Quinn over the next releases. So you'll be able to use Quinn to understand what this means for your trading. Let me know if that answers your question. And then if we go then into Quinn, so we can, there was a question before about Q, right? So you can use to learn how to apply this. What does it mean? And how can I get access to any documentation, guide, tutorial videos, and so on? But you can also ask Quinn any data related questions. So we are doing a lot of work on Quinn to be able to allow you to look at intraday data, look for all the different models that we provide. You'll be able to screen on Quinn very soon. You'll be able to access all the different models there, right? So here you get the levels, you get an analysis. You'll be able to plan your roadmap. You'll be able to understand what the matrix means, all that kind of stuff. And it's all available here. You'll also get access to the chart directly into Quinn. And more coming. So 2026 is going to be very exciting. So be ready. Lots of things coming.
Can you give us a preview what will be coming?
Yeah, sure. So we are looking at intraday futures data, more actionable intraday and real-time information. So we are basically going to slowly move to a real-time analytics platform. More update on gamma and levels throughout the day. We're going to integrate our own charting application within our platform. Quinn is going to be evolving, and a lot of things are going to be available on Quinn. So yeah, a lot of things coming, hopefully by Q1 and Q2. So stay tuned. It's going to be a game changer for you guys.
And what's going on with futures? Did we have some opportunity to get also intraday snapshots really soon?
Yeah, we will also be adding, once the infrastructure is ready, we will also be adding intraday future data, intraday futures flow, and all of that stuff. Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you'll be happy.
Sounds good.
So for this reason, I think it's a good time to save for a yearly subscription, because if everything is now rolled out, I can imagine that there will be a little bit change in the price for you, I think.
We haven't planned that now. So for now, we're staying here, but we'll keep adding value. So things could change in the future, but for now, we don't have plans for that. But
So save your discount and then you'll be good. All right, guys. In the program, we are always there until 11 p.m. We will be making some recap. The last few minutes, we're talking about what you was learning today. And I would be asking you, Fabio, now, before we close the stream, what you was learning today, Fabio? Is there something where you take out today, where you was saying, hey, this was really cool to see. This was what I was learning. Let us know.
yeah, so the biggest one for me, that obviously I've heard that before in your stream, but I think the biggest learning lesson is come into the market with a plan. Don't let the bias define the plan. So if you have a bias, and I think also this is one of the biggest challenge for retail traders, that emotion sometimes can cause more harm than good, because you want the market to go in one direction and you're not prepared if the market goes in the opposite direction. So what you showed us today was coming into the market with the plan A, which is really following not only the data, but also the bias that you have based on the information that you read, the news articles that you come in the morning, whatever that might be. Your plan A will always have a bias, but then be prepared to have a plan B in case that plan A doesn't materialize. And then, of course, use the data to potentially have Confluence. So we've shown you guys how to combine gamma levels with blind spots, how to combine that with the data from the dashboard. Like, always look for small insights coming from different models that can tell you what could happen. And then, of course, you have your first plan for the day. And then if that doesn't materialize, then you do have a plan B, which allows you to be reactive in case things happen, right? So I think that for me is the most important part. And I think you guys do a great job at simplifying that process.
Yeah. Yep. And I think for me, before we go into you, Maciej, and I will ask you, one thing what I was learning today is I become again a confirmation about my A+ setup. What is the A+ setup, Fabio? What I'm always talking every single time when we be live. What's the A+ setup?
Your A+ setup,
Yeah.
I mean, I think you had the core, you mentioned put support and core resistance, but at one point you mentioned the handshake. Remember when we were talking about the handshake?
This is what I
No. He was this a lot lesson.
No, so it's really I tell this every single time. If we be on the playbook session, if we be in the MenthorQ live room, put support and put support USDT, core resistance and core resistance USDT in the VIX. Mostly you will see some reaction, a strong reaction. And then you can take it. Take a look at my chart. VIX was put support 17. We get the reaction there. We are now on a high wall. I was telling this. Just wait until we come to 16. Then be careful. And what was happened, Fabio? market goes straight down, up, sorry. So this is really an A+ setup.
Yeah.
This is if I can give you only this on your hand as A+ setup in your playbook, man, guys. If we trade this, man, it's such amazing opportunity.
And then also another thing that will be coming next year is backtesting tools for you guys on the levels, and our first version of our alpha signals. So we are working very hard with our quants, very excited about the results. So stay tuned, and we'll tell you more at the beginning of the year. But yeah, more things coming on top of what we discussed before.
Yep. Patrick, we are above 6,800 SPX, shift in the sentiment, bullish now. Champ, we are never having any bias. We are always having a plan A, we have always a plan B, and always a plan C. So what was the plan A when we was on 6,800 on SPX, where we thinking to going long? This was my plan A. And also, I was saying to you, be careful on the VIX when we touching the 16, the high vol 0 DTE, then it's time to get out. Why? Look at this, when we hitting the 16, what was happened the last time? And voila, the VIX was coming back. And voila, VIX coming back. There was only one few step where we breaking through this, but be careful when you're on the 16. So this is basically for me my time to get out of the market. Just wait, take the profits, everything is good, enjoy the life. So, and for now, if I'm now bullish, if I'm now bearish, I never be bullish, I never be bearish. The only thing what I be is I be disciplined, I be patient, and I have a plan A, plan B, and plan C in my mind.
Yeah.
That is how it is. Other people may be bullish or bearish. I be disciplined and patient with a plan in the hand.
Absolutely. Is historical level coming in at us? Yes, we will be doing that next year.
The better question is which quarter?
Hopefully
Because next year, this is a big horizons, man.
I know.
All right, guys.
And you have only 20% chance to guess.
So as you know, you can see it on our voice. Was a very good session. Yeah. Maciej, what you was learning today? What you was observing?
First thing first, patience. Second, as usually, kiss and go works very well. Another way.
Oh, just wait. What is kiss and go?
Oh, kiss and go is for pro traders.
Okay.
On another meeting, I will tell you, because we need to dive a little bit to explain this.
Okay.
So kiss and go works very well after, as we match together this zone on ES, crossing and change a little bit condition. Right now volatility is low from 0 DTE perspective and is confirmed also on our charts. And as you mentioned, connect the dots, boom, voila, we dropping, we going up, here going down. As usually you mentioned, put support. Right now we have reaction on HVL 0 DTE and time, price, location, conditions. For me, we are 4 minutes to close European market, so I will take some break, refresh myself, come back later. Maybe I will catch later some moves. Right now, for me, morning session on USA market is done. So time for a reset. What else? Watching especially reaction on NQ. Someone is right now cheater. Why? Because ES is staying above, but NQ is diving. So, looking at this perspective, from me right now, nothing to add. Only,
All right.
only wish you all the best. Have a big gifts, and not only remember we are coming back in January, so it's time to relax, refresh. As Patrick also mentioned about today's topic on masterclass, summary this year, dive to your account, take a look where you make some stupid things, take some notes, receive this, and remember, don't do it later. So from my perspective, one more time, ladies and gents, wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you, Maciej. And again, we are very excited to have you on board for 2026. So Patrick and Maciej will lead the pro team for 2026, and possibly we will add maybe more members as we grow, and maybe we'll add more team members. We don't know yet, but we're very excited to have you, Patrick and Maciej. We love the content. Very happy the team. The feedback has been amazing. So very thank you for putting not only the time but also the passion. Like we can clearly see that you guys love what you do, and that comes out of the help that you provide to the members. So I'm really happy to have spent the year with you guys. Very excited for 2026. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna be back again on the 5th of January with new live, with all the schedule that you see here for pro and premium will be back on January 5th. So we're gonna take these next couple of weeks just to spend time with our families and refresh. But 2026 is going to be a big one, so stay tuned, guys, and hope to see you guys in our premium members, in our pro members. So if you guys want to join our pro, here you have the QR code with the links for our quarterly and yearly plan. Tomorrow we will also start our promo for our premium membership, so check our website tomorrow. And then any questions, just reach out to us at info@mentorq.com and we'll be able to help you. And I know, Patrick, you always need to have the last word, so I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, man. 2025, we are now more and more at the end of this year, guys. I know we are see how the community is growing. Man, it's such an amazing thing. What I was reading in the community, if you're looking into our Discord and the member success stories, it's such an amazing thing to see how each one of you are growing and becoming better and better. This makes me so much happy, and also to see how much value we was adding into MenthorQ 2025. So we was really never stopping to making MenthorQ better. And I think our mission is also for 2026 to see more people becoming successful, to see much more things on MenthorQ, to see also how MenthorQ can become, because of all your great feedback, what you was providing us, guys, all your needs, all your pains, stuff what you're missing, what we can possibly implementate. And this is something where I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone who's listening here. everyone who's a member on MenthorQ, no matter if you be a regular listener here on X or on YouTube, are you be on the free space, are you sign up for our newsletter, if you be in the premium group, if you be in the pro group. I'm so thankful for everyone, because trading is business, trading is also family. And again, thank you. And I wish everyone the best success, health, whatever you wish should become true. But think about having always a plan also for your trading career, for your life. Have a plan A, no matter what. Have a plan B, no matter what. Have a plan C. And I would be more than happy to see you, everyone, the next year here back on YouTube or on X, to say to everyone who are here, hello in person in the pro group. And yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I cannot say more to this. So thank you again, champs. And also thank you, Fabio. Thank you to the team. As usual, MenthorQ is one of my family, as you know. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And again, have a good one, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys. And again, we're going to start back very strong in January. So hope to see you guys there, and stay tuned and follow us on X or YouTube. And yeah, and also, guys, go over our past lives, go over our academy. You can sign up for free and you can access the different lessons. We did a lot of things in the past month, so the holidays is always a good time to spend learning. So you can do that through our website, our academy, and Quinn. So hopefully that will give you some things to prepare for 2026. And see you guys soon, and have a great holidays. Merry Christmas to everyone, and see you guys in 2026.